Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks so much for joining me for today's video. This is a makes video and I think I've put out 2 makes videos since the start of the year. So this is going to be a bumper edition. This is basically everything I've got made up since April. So grab a cuppa, whatever is appropriate for your time of day, and settle back, and I'm really excited to show you everything I've got done. So I do have quite a bit of stuff here and I've got I think 5 categories, so I'll put this into chapters depending on what you're interested in. I have tops, quilts, trousers, dresses and other miscellaneous items. So just as a caveat, because there is quite a bit of stuff here, I have a very understanding husband who knows that this is my absolute passion and hobby. I have 2 small children who are in bed by 8 o'clock every single night, and sometimes I take days off work just to sew. So that's why I have this amount of output. It's not always like this. Some are very small, some are more involved makes, but anyway. So, will I get started? So there are a few things that I am not going to show in this video because they have their own videos, and that is the Adele blouse. Throughout all this I will pop in pictures and I'll link everything below. If I forget anything, please let me know. So the first thing I'm not going to talk about is the Adele blouse, because I made that for Sew April blouse and that has its own video. There's also Sew Fruity, where I made a flare dress, a cuddle sweater, some PJs for my boys and a bag, and that has its own dedicated Sew Fruity 24 video. And then also I made a Tamarack jacket out of a picnic blanket from Tiger, and that was a collaboration with the very, very wonderful Sam from Sew Let's Sparkle with Sam, and that has its own collaboration video as well. So but the rest of the stuff, you'll have seen these through Friday Sews, but I really like doing a makes video to kind of complete it and have everything in one place in case people want to reference different makes and stuff. So that's basically why I'm going to show everything now. So will I start with tops? So the very first thing, no, I'm not going to say the first thing. This is in no particular order at all. This is the top section, and this is a lovely pink flamingo hoodie that I got made up. So my quilting bee that I go to, there's a lady there who had this really cute pink jersey and just sitting around. She doesn't really do garment sewing, not very sure why she had it, but she said, would you like it? So I said yes, of course. So I've made a hot coffee hoodie from Waves and Wild, which I love. It's got this beautiful crossover hood detail. So I think I make a size medium. It's got a lovely band at the bottom, and then I lined the hood with this rainbow fabric that I got from Crafty Studio ages ago. I did the nice little facing at the back to give it a nice kind of finish, and then in a blatant copy of Karen, so Little Time, I put a little flamingo patch here, and I think I got that in the Beyond the Pink Door advent calendar a couple of years ago, but I think it makes a really, really cute hoodie. I did wear it to my quilting class last week and she was amazed that I made it into a hoodie, but she was delighted it went to a good home, and it certainly did. So that's a little hoodie that I've got made up. The next thing I want to show you is it's called the Cuddle cardigan, but this is the sweater version. So I made the actual cardigan as part of Sew Fruity, but this is the original one I made, which is the sweater version. So the fabric is the most beautiful mint green fabric and matching ribbing that I got from the lovely Sarah from Sew Sarah Sewed. She very kindly gifted to me when she realised that I just love this colour. So I made up the Mizuzu Cuddle sweater version, and this is the cropped version. So it's got these lovely set-in pockets. It's got this beautiful V detail here, which I did in ribbing. You can do in self fabric as well. And then I bound the back neckline in these really cool little dinosaurs from the Specky seamstress. I made view B and I made a size CC, which is true to my size. I added 1 inch to the sleeves, and I added 1 inch to the bodice. I've since added another inch to the bodice in the cardigan version because this came up a little cropped. It's a really, really nice pattern. I really enjoyed making it. There's an awful lot of pieces, so just be warned, because this comes in a cardigan, a sweater, long line, cropped, with the inseam pockets or patch pockets. There are a lot of pattern pieces, but it's a beautiful construction and I really, really enjoyed making it. And as I say, I've now made the cardigan, and I think I'm going to make a couple more because it just came together so beautifully. So yeah, big plus for Mizuzu patterns. They have some really, really cool patterns, actually, really nice ones. The next one, and along the kind of the green theme as well, is the Pixie Tee, and this is by Chalk and Notch. And this green fabric was from the Fabric Outlet, local enough to me, and it is a really cute short sleeve kind of sweater, although I made it in a cotton jersey. And then at the bottom it's got this lovely waistband, so this is elastic inside this channel, but then the elastic is sewn with these little ribbons at the end of it to make these beautiful ties, and I think it just gives a really, really nice finish. Then of course I bound the neckline again with Specky seamstress binding. I made a size 8 grading to a size 10, and that fit me absolutely perfectly, and I removed 2 inches from the sleeves because they came out quite long. But it's a really nice pattern. It's really, really quick to put together, and I just love how this section is done with the elastic and the little ribbons at the end to make the little channel. I think it's really, really pretty. This does come as a dress version as well, but yeah, I really enjoyed making this. So I've got on very, very well with chalk and notch patterns this year. Actually, I think they have some really, really nice ones. Moving along, the next one was a Pogonip. So that has now gone to the winter storage in the attic, but I made it out of a little fleece that I think cost me about €5. So white with black hearts. For the Pogonip, I make a size medium and I add an inch and a half to the sleeves. So I've made a couple of Pogonips now. My original one was done in a collaboration with So Sarah Style, but that was back in January, I believe. So it's a really, really great pattern. It's just a lovely pattern. It comes together quite quickly. Some nice details with a little poppered placket here. It's just really, really nice, but now that has gone to the attic. But I think next winter I'll be making a few more. It's a great pattern. You can make it in knits and woven. So I think it's really, really great. So hopefully I'll be popping in some pictures of it here, and hopefully we're out of Pogonip weather for the time being. Next up is the Donny shirt, and this is fabric that I got at Stitch Festival, and I just think this is gorgeous. I absolutely love this fabric. It's from Sister Mintaka, and I just bought a metre, and a Donny shirt you can get out a metre if you're clever with the positioning of the pattern pieces, but it's just great to use with a metre. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. I'm sure you've seen so many versions around the place. It's got this lovely enclosed bit here at the back with the yoke. It's got this lovely V detail here and this kind of fold back collar, the revere, and then it's got lovely short sleeves, and then it's got a little bit of gathering at the back to give it a bit of shape, but it's just a lovely, lovely construction. I put in the little rosy cheeks beyond the pink door label that says gorgeous, which I really, really like. I make a size medium. I add 2 inches to the bodice and I take out 2 inches from the sleeves, and this fits me perfectly. I think adding the 2 inches to the bodice is a bit of a must. It does come up quite cropped. I've made a couple of these now. This is in, I think this is a viscose twill, which is a lovely drape to it. My original version was in a cotton fabric, and I think both versions are absolutely beautiful. The stability of the cotton version I made, and then the more kind of drape of this, but it's just such a lovely pattern. I really, really like it. It's got a beautiful clean finish with the enclosed yoke detail here and everything, and the way you do the collar, and it's just really it's just a really lovely shirt to wear with jeans because you could make it a little bit more casual. I think it's just great. The only thing I don't do is put on the pocket, but yes, big love for the Donny shirt, absolutely love it. And that's Friday Passion Company, if I didn't mention already. Next up is the Emmie tee, and this is from Jennifer Lauren Handmade, and I've made a good few of these t-shirts actually, but always in the short sleeve version. And I found this beautiful striped fabric at Stitch Fabrics from Stitch Fabrics, yes, I believe it was, at Stitch Festival, and it's beautiful navy and white stripe. It's kind of like a viscose jersey, I think, but it's got lovely weight, lovely drape, and I always had in my head, buying this in March, that I wanted to make it into a kind of a summery brett on top that I could wear with white jeans. And then when I got around to making it, I thought, actually, I think I'd like a long sleeve version. I only had a metre of fabric, so through some very clever pattern placement and stuff, I was able to do a seam right here. I can just about feel it to get the long sleeve. I was able to just about pattern match, and then of course I did slice the front, but able to patch that up so you can't see anything. So I was able to make the long sleeve version. I think I prefer the short sleeve version of the Emmie tee because I think this one with the very dropped sleeve gives a bit of kind of bunching here, but might be something to do with the weight of the fabric. But I absolutely love it. It looks really cute with white jeans, a lovely kind of summery make. I make a size 14 and I cut it at the short or regular length. And yeah, I did the long length, and yeah, I prefer the short sleeve version, but that's just me. But I do love the Emmie tee, so you can make the plain bodice like this, and then there's also pattern pieces for a pieced front bodice, which is really, really cool, which I've made a couple of those as well, which I really like, and it's also great for using up scraps. So yeah, I love the Emmie tee. I think it's a really, really nice pattern. Next up is the high cuff sweater, and this is from the assembly line. And if you watch my Friday sews around this time, there's a bit of drama around this make, so we got there in the end. So this is fabric again from Stitch Fabrics at the Stitch Festival. Again, I think I bought a metre and a half of this, and it's beautiful crepe fabric. It's got lovely kind of crinkled detail, and I just loved the navy and the pink hearts, so it was really, really pretty. So this was a Total Stitch Fabrics baby, because I then bound it with Specky Seamstress Bias binding that I bought at Stitch Festival, and I also put in a label which says made by me. These are Sarah Hart's labels that I picked up from Sister Mintaka. So I loved making this. I thought it was really, really great, and then put it on and it was too small. So lesson learned. I made a size small. I added 2 inches to the bodice and 2 inches to the sleeves, but it still came up quite cropped and the neckline is quite high. So I ended up having to recut the waistband much bigger to give me a little bit more wiggle room there, but not to worry. It's got a really lovely waistband because it's bigger at the back. So the way it sits on your lower back is really, really nice. But I would love to revisit this pattern, but I will make a medium. But I still wear this. I think it's still really, really pretty, and I just love this fabric. I think it's just lovely, and I love that it's all my favourite things from the Stitch Festival. So yes, that's just a note on the hike off, and to say that this is a woven. So it's a woven that you can make into a kind of sweater, just because you have the rib at the neckband and also the cuffs and the hemband, which is a really, really nice way of showing off your woven fabrics. Next up is the Nocturne top, and this is a pyjama pattern that you can also wear as a top. And I made this, again, fabric from Stitch Festival, and it is a beautiful Lady McElroy. I think this is a viscose chalet, I think, that I got from Sew Me Something. I saw it at the corner of my eye and I just had to have it. And it's this beautiful teal colour with kind of leopardy print ones. The Nocturne top comes with a little V here, but I've made that in my previous version and I found that came down way too low. So this time I left that out. I just cut a straight front bodice. What the pattern doesn't have you do is to enclose the back and front yokes. You're using the burrito method. So I was able to look up another pattern I have. I think it's the Cali shirt, I believe, or else the Archer shirt, which shows you how to do the burrito method. So now the yoke is fully enclosed front and back, which I think is a really, really nice clean finish. I make a size 6, but actually my measurements put me in a size 10 grading to a size 12, so it does come up quite large. So yeah, I do size down, so what's that, about 3 or 4 sizes down to a size 6, and I remove 1 inch from the bodice and I remove ½ inch to this for the sleeves. But I think it's a really, really pretty top. It's beautiful in this swishy fabric. It's got these beautiful gathers at the front bodice and also at the back, so it gives a really, really nice shape. I think it's a really pretty top, and again, you can get this out of a metre, which is win-win-win. So yeah, I will be making more of those. So this comes with pyjama bottom patterns as well, which I haven't tried, which I really must try. Next up, are you still with me, is a Marlo cardigan, and this fabric I got from Driessen Stoffen, and it's beautiful coral jacquard jersey, matches my nails, and I made this as part of my birthday makes for my dress, which I'll show you shortly. And I added little buttons. I got these from the lovely Anne. They're Ethel and Joan buttons, and they've got a tiny bit of pink in them, which I think match very, very well. I did have huge hassle with the buttonholes on this, but I think I managed to get away with it just about. When I've got the buttons tied, you can't tell. But I love the Marlo cardigan. Again, I sized down massively on this. My measurements put me in a size 10 grading to a 12, but I make a size 4. So it does come up quite oversized, and through experience, I now size down to a size 4, but I love this cardigan and it goes with so much in my wardrobe. I wear it so often with dresses and with jeans. I just love it. It's a really, really quick make. You can do 2 ways of finishing the neckband, so you can kind of enclose the seam on the inside or just let it roll like this. I think it's absolutely fine the way it is. But yeah, you can easily whip this up in an afternoon. It's absolutely great. And this comes as a long line cardigan as well. So love the Marlo cardigan. I think that's the end of the top section. I think it is. So will we move quickly onto the quilts? Very, very quickly. There's not too many of them. In fact, there's 2. So to start off with, ooh, that was my sewing machine. To start off with, I will show you what started my quilting adventure, which was the class I went to in the adult education classes very near me, and it was to make a sampler quilt. And here it is. So loads of different blocks. So you've got this log cabin, I think this is called churn dash, then you've got more log cabins, then I've got little windmill ones, and I've got what else do I have here? Oh, we did a applique of hexies, loads of them, and we bound some of the blocks, and then I've done the border, then I've got the binding, and then it's backed just in spots, and I did different quilting on each of the blocks just to kind of test it out really. But absolutely love this. This now lives on our couch downstairs, and the boys use it to make Cubby House. They tuck up under it and watching TV, and I just love it, and I just adores that class. Learned so much, learned all about the sashing, all about the borders, all about the binding, all about the quilting. It was just great. It was exactly what I wanted from that class. Really, really enjoyed it. The reason I did that class was because at Christmas I was very kindly gifted one of Anne-Marie from the Crafty Studios Patchwork parcel boxes, and that was for a Christmas quilt. And before I got started on that quilt, I wanted to learn how to patchwork and quilt, basically, because I had no idea. So, and once I'd finished that, I was ready to move on to the actual patchwork parcel quilt, which is called the gift quilt, I think, gift box quilt. And this is it. So can I show you properly? So these are the little blocks of the gift box, which are just gorgeous. So it's an all Christmassy fabric. I got this down from the attic especially. The only thing I did differently was I added on a few of these extra strips here, the red ones here, just to make it a bit longer, to make it a rectangle as opposed to a square. Then I added on a border and bound it in red, and I did a little squiggly quilting, which I love doing. And then on the back, it is holly. And the holly has a bit of gold in it, which I absolutely love. So adored making this quilt. I really, really love it. It's going to go away now again until Christmas, and I'm excited to take it out. But I think this gift block is just absolutely gorgeous. It's really, really pretty. So thank you, Emmie, for that. And I was delighted I got that made up. So that is my quilting section. What will we move on to now? We do trousers. So basically one pattern, 2 pairs of trousers. So I got a ready-to-wear pair of trousers a good few months ago now, and they're woven joggers, and I really, really liked them, and I was keen to recreate them with my own pattern. So I found the Helen's Closet Arden pants, and they kind of fit the bill. Basically, it was an elastic waistband, nice kind of woven joggers, bordering on the cargo but not really, and then gathered in at the cuff. So I want to do a little toile first of all, because this comes in a number of variations. You can do variations even. A straight leg, you can do gathered into a cuff, and you can get gathered into a narrow cuff, I believe. So I did a toile, which is very, very unlike me, and I made the straight leg version out of giraffes, which I absolutely love. So it's got the elastic waistband, and I did kind of wavy stitches on it to keep it from twisting. It's got beautiful pockets, and then it just goes straight down at the bottom. So I just loved making these, really liked how they came out. It gave me an indication of sizing. So I did view A, and I did a size 14. I removed an inch and a half from the rise and added an inch to the legs, because I don't like high-waisted trousers, and I'm 5'9", so I wanted them a little bit longer. So that's why I removed an inch and a half from the, half an inch from the rise. And they fit pretty well, but I knew I needed to make a few more adjustments before making my real version. So I made my real version in, bear with, this lovely navy linen from Driessen Stoffen. So for this version, I made a size 14 again, but I removed an inch from the rise, and I kept the inch in the legs, and I just love how they came out. Having worn these pretty much 2 or 3 times a week since I made them. The next time I make them, and I'm really keen to make them again very, very soon, I'm going to add another inch to the leg, just to make them a little bit longer. So they came out really, really nicely. So I did the little wave on the waistband. They've got the most beautiful pockets and a really cool pocket construction. I put on patch pockets at the back, and I added a little Made by Me label again from Sarah Hart's, and then they go down like this, and then they've got the cuff at the bottom, and that was a tricky bit, getting all the rings around here, and these are a little bit tight. I might add a little bit to the elastic the next time, but I love how these came out, and as I say, I've been wearing them so much. It's a fabulous versatile pattern, and of course Helen's Closet instructions are absolutely brilliant, love them. So yeah, I've been wearing these a ton, I really have. So I'd love to buy some more linen to make a few more before we lose the weather entirely. So they were just my trousers, so one pattern 2 ways effectively. What shall we go on to now? We go on to dresses. So my first dress that I want to show you is the one I'm wearing. So this is it's a bit of a Frankenstein of dresses that I had in my head that I really wanted to recreate. So the fabric is from Driessen Stoffen, and it's this lovely viscose fabric with these beautiful big flowers. So the base is the Lotta dress, the Tillian Buttons Lotta, and I make a size 4 in that. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to add the flutter sleeves from the Deer and Doe. I'll be back in a sec. Apologies, baby French seams was calling. So as I was saying, Tillian the Buttons Lotta, Deer and Doe Magnolia flutter sleeves, because I made the Magnolia for a wedding last year and absolutely loved how the sleeves looked. Then I've got the Lotta skirt, but I made the pockets from the Friday pattern company Davenport, because I just loved how they looked, and the Lotta doesn't come with side seam pockets, so I wanted to add them. I think I did stretch out the neckline, but anyway. So I love how this came out. I really love it. I think the fabric is really pretty with these big bold flowers, just love it. And then the only change I made, well, the only change, aside from those other 3 patterns, was to bind the neckline, and I had a specky seamstress binding in here instead of doing the facing, which I really, really like. I think in very, very light fabric I love doing binding, especially because the facing I think drags it down, so I just love the bound neckline. I think it looks really, really nice. So this is my total hacked Lotta dress, which I love. So it's the Lotta, the Davenport and the Ethel and Joan Magnolia all in one pattern, and I'm just delighted with how it came out. I think these flutter sleeves are just beautiful. I've been wearing this a few times. I wear it to work as well with a little cardigan over it, so it just looks like a little skirt and a cardigan. I just love it. I think it's so pretty and really, really summery. And I don't hack patterns very often, so I pride myself for doing that. So moving on to the next one, which was my dress for Frocktails. So Frocktails seems like a lifetime ago, so it's April. For this, I did make a matching bag. Do you think I could find it? No, it's a bow bag from Sew Over, so I'll hopefully get a picture of it right here. So I did make a toile of this as well, because for Frocktails you just have to. I had decided to make the Mary dress from Pattern Society. I think it looked really, really pretty. So it's one shoulder ruffle, quite slim fitting kind of pencil skirt dress, kind of almost like a wiggle dress, I think. And I made it out of the most beautiful green taffeta fabric from the fabric counter, and then with matching green sequins also from the fabric counter, and I just love this dress so much. I haven't been able to wear it since, and I'm just longing for a time where I can wear it again to something. I'm not quite sure what, but I love how it came out. So it's got a waist seam here, it's got loads and loads of darts, and then at the back there's a little split as well, so I'll pop in a few pictures from the night in question. I added a little label, little rosy cheeks, called Swing It, Shake It, Move It, Made It, because obviously we're going to a party, and it's got a little invisible zip down the side. So the difference that I made to the pattern is I fully lined it. So it doesn't come with a lining. I basically just made 2 dresses and just used the instructions from how to do the all-in-one facing on the Sew Over It Betty dress as to how to line the shoulder, because obviously it only has one shoulder, and the lining came out pretty well actually. I'm really pleased with this lovely green lining from, did I mention the Crafty Studio? Hopefully I did. This beautiful green lining as well, which I think matches very, very nicely. So love this so much. So I made a size XS grading to an S. So, and yeah, it just came out really well. The instructions for the ruffle aren't great, but you by looking at the pictures, you know what it needs to end up as, will be my only thing. The instructions for the rest of the dress is great. It's basically just dart, 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 invisible zip. But I just love how it came out, and this fabric is just beautiful. I did ever so slightly lose the will to live by trying to gather sequins. That was tricky. And the other thing I did was, because this is it's basically one giant rectangle that you gather and sew on, I didn't want 4 layers of sequins. So I basically split the pattern down the middle, did one side of the taffeta and then the reverse of it on the other side, so that when you fold it over, you get the 2 sequins lying on top of each other. That was a bit of a head scratcher, but yes, gathering these was just pretty tricky. In the end, I used dental floss and a zigzag stitch, and that seemed to do it. And then it's pretty well welded on now at this stage, but just love this dress so much. I really like it. I think I will make this dress again just for another occasion, maybe leave off the ruffle, maybe make it in a slightly less formal fabric, but I think for a formal event, I think this Mary dress is really, really nice, and I would recommend it. Again, my first time using a Pattern Society pattern, but yeah, love it, just love it. So it's even nice just taking it out again now. The next one I made was also a green dress, sorry, hangers, and it is the Kielo wrap dress. I think now this was my 5th Kielo wrap dress, and here it is in this beautiful bottle green fabric from Driessen Stoffen. It is a viscose jersey, and I just love this pattern. I love it so much. This was my first time making a sleeveless version, which is really nice actually. So it's got an ever so slightly different arm side, and so they have you bind the armholes, which is great, and then you've just got the normal neckband, and then it's just the usual ties. I did totally mucked this up by ironing it with too high a heat, but got a wonderful recommendation to chuck it in a cold bath overnight and then wash it again, and it did the trick exactly. It removed all the stains, so thank you so much. I love wearing this. I think it's a really, really nice colour. I just love the Kielo wrap dress. As I say, I've made 5. I've made short sleeves, I've made long sleeves, I've made kind of wintry ones, summery ones. This is my first sleeveless one, which I really, really like. So in the Kielo wrap dress, I make a size 12 to 14, and I cut it at the knee length, which is the perfect length on me. And yeah, I made the sleeveless version. I should say this is the named pattern. So yeah, one more thing, I did have to raise the arm side about an inch just because it came down a little bit low, but that was my only alteration. So big love for the Kielo wrap dress. Then the last dress I got made up, which is a very, very special dress, which was my birthday dress. And this is the Chalk and Notch fringe dress in this beautiful fabric from Stitch Fabrics, again from the Stitch Festival. Sorry, I'll tie up the buttons so you can see it properly. So there's a load of us who bought this fabric at Stitch Festival, and I knew it was always destined to be a fringe. And then I wanted to make it for my birthday. So beautiful fringe dress in this gorgeous teal jacquard fabric. You can kind of see it in the light there, absolutely beautiful. Lovely. I made this label from Victoria Little Rosy Cheeks when you buy the labels at the festivals, and then the buttons are from Ethel and Joan, and they've got little tiny gold flecks in them, which are just beautiful because I was able to have the fabric, run upstairs to Ethel and Joan and get the buttons matched, which was marvellous. For the fringe dress, I make a size 8 grade into a size 10. I add 2 inches to the bodice to make it waisted on me, and this time I straightened out the hem. So it does come with a dippy hem, which is what I made my previous version like, but this time I just took the lowest length of the hem and just cut straight across at that level to make it straight across, which I really, really like. Yeah, it's my absolute favourite dress. I love it. I wear it an awful lot to work, and it goes beautifully with my Marlo cardigan, and myself and Mr. French Seams had a lovely birthday date night in this. We went for a beautiful meal, and yeah, this dress is just very, very special, and I love the fringe dress. I really, really do. So yeah, absolutely love this. Again, Chalk and Notch, and it has these beautiful waist ties as well. So very, very pretty dress. Now we move on to the other section, which is basically everything left over that I couldn't really categorize. So first up on this is a pair of pajamas, and these are from the assembly line, and this is a free pattern, so I thought I'd give it a go. I ended up making these for frocktails. So this is the pajama top, so it's in this seersucker fabric that I got from Beyond the Pink Door when I went to her retreat May last year when she's still in Galway. And this is the top I want to show, which is the front and back. So I added little gold bees that I got gifted kindly by the lovely Anne. I bound the neckline instead of doing a facing, and I was able to do a bit of a mishmash of 2 bias bindings together as well, using up all my odds and sods of binding. So this is the top, and then it comes with a pajama bottom pattern, so little shorts which have pockets. I made a size medium because from my high cuff sweater I knew that I was a size medium in assembly lines, which worked out perfectly for the top, but I have to be a large for the bottom. So these are a little bit tight, and I wouldn't really bother with the pockets. They're kind of a flappy pocket, they don't really sit very nicely. So what I actually want to do is take out the pockets, use that fabric to put a little panel in the side to make them a little bit bigger, because I do love wearing these, but just they're a little bit small, and make the shorts a little bit more wearable. But they are really, really cute. Again, for a free pattern, you can't go wrong, you really can't. So the only alteration I made was I removed 2 inches from the sleeves, so I will revisit that pattern again. Next up is the fleur robe, and this was because the lovely Sparkly Sam from So Let's Sparkle made this as, I think, her So Frugal, because it's a mood patterns pattern, so it's free. And I had this fabric that I bought from the fabric outlet ages ago, and I really didn't know what to do with it. So it's kind of a border print, so some bits are white and then some bits are dark blue. So I made a fleur robe, which I really, really like. I made a size medium, and I added elastic to the end of the arms just so I can pull them up. I didn't have enough fabric to do any waist ties, so I just added in little ribbons at the waist to keep it closed. But it's in this really bouncy fabric. I have no idea what it is, but it was a £5 a metre. And I literally wear this every single day. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the way the sleeves came out white and the bodice came out blue. I think it's really pretty and gives a nice effect when it's wrapped around, and it is such a workhorse in my wardrobe. It really is. First thing in the morning, chuck it on, go downstairs for a cup of tea. Perfect. So love this. Again, free pattern as well. So that was my nightwear. The next thing I made up was a few bucket hats for my little boys. I'll pop in a picture here, and I was very kindly gifted that fabric by Mandy, so Make It So Mandy with Minions, because my boys do love Minions. That was great fun. That's a free Waves and Wild pattern called the Sandcastle bucket hat, and I've been making it for my boys for years. It's absolutely brilliant. I love that pattern, and I think I make them there. I think, do I make a 4 to 6? I'll pop in the sizes below, but it's pretty true to size anyway. It comes out really, really well, and you can just churn them out. They're very, very quick to make, and you can kind of make them out of kind of fat quarter size fabrics as well for children, which is great. Another thing I made was a curtains for our bedroom. So I used a tutorial that I bought, I think during COVID, during the first lockdown, from the Stitch Sisters on how to make your own curtains, which has been invaluable, which I've used at least 4 times since. So I made lovely curtains for our bedroom out of a jacquard fabric from the fabric outlet, which was really great. I cheated ever so slightly by using the existing curtains as lining, so they were very, very quick to make. So I was very happy to get them done. That, as I say, that is the one thing where you save money by making your own, for sure, instead of getting curtains ready or made to measure. Absolutely. The next thing I got made up was little book pillows for my 2 little boys. I don't have them because they're literally sleeping with them right now, and I daren't take them away. I was recommended a fabulous tutorial by Stuart Hillard, who was one of the contestants on the Sewing Bee, I think series 1, I think, and fabulous pattern on how to make a little book pillow. So I made it in dinosaur fabric. The front is slightly quilted. It's got a lovely bound or a faux bound pocket, which is really cool, and it fits the IKEA standard 20 by 20 pillows or cushions perfectly, which is great. And I used a little bit of webbing at the top, and they take them to bed every single night. They're allowed to put their little toys in them, put their little books in them, or whatever they need, and they're just brilliant. And I would love to make more of them as gifts. I think it's a really, really great tutorial, and it doesn't take much fabric, and it doesn't take long at all. So win, win, win. The last thing I got made up, in no order, is the lovely Adam Sew's trio of pouches. So this is my one. I also made one for my sister, but she has since received it and loves it. And I made it in these little bee fat quarters. It's got beautifully bound edges at the top. I used continuous zipper tape that I got from Purple Stitches at Stitch Festival, and every day I regret that I didn't buy more at that stand. And then she's got a little zipper pull, it's a little star. On my sister's one I put a heart, and then I just have little ribbon tabs here as well, and it's fully quilted. I did my squiggly stitches again, and yeah, this trio of pouches pattern is just fabulous. This is the smallest size, so it comes in medium and large as well, but it's just a really, really great pattern. That is everything I've got done since April. If you are still with me, you deserve a medal. You really do. I'm afraid to look at how long this video is, but thank you very, very much for sticking with me. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it didn't go too quickly to that. I know, hopefully you can slow down the video if I do go too quickly, and hopefully you're able to use the chapters function. But if you have any questions, if I skipped over anything that you're curious about, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. I always love hearing from you. I love responding to all the comments, and if you take the time to watch my videos, especially these long ones, I love responding, and thank you very, very much. If you have made any of these, have any comments, have any feedback, please, as always, let me know in the comment box below. How was your spring, summer sewing, and what have you got planned for later in the year? There's a small window now of kind of summer sewing left before you look towards autumn, which is good and bad, I suppose, but I'm looking forward to a different season. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for sticking around. If you enjoyed it, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up, and I would also love it if you would consider subscribing. I'd very, very much enjoy having you here in my tiny portion of the internet where I rabbit on and on and on and on about sewing. But thank you very much. I hope you're all well, and I'm going to see you again very soon in another video. Take care, everyone. Bye.